What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining me with Buzz More. Live, 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 live. I'll say again. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. What a week. What a week. Guys, if you haven't, make sure you like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to all our platforms. And most importantly, guys, check out these awesome merch. Check them out on the Bonfire Shop. The link below. Type in Buzz20 and you get 10% off on your purchase. That's right, guys. 10% off purchases on all your purchases. We did a great drawing on our recent March drawing for merch. Shout out to the people that got the awesome signed autograph and some awesome Buzzing with Marlo hoodies, man. All right, guys. I hope everyone's doing well. It's Happy Friday. It's Buzzing with Marlo Friday. Guys, are you ready? This is episode 93. 7 away from the big 100. 7. 7. My goodness, I can't believe this. Guys, what a time Buzzing with Marlo has had, just all in general. Literally, if you think about it, we've had authors, actors, actresses, directors, producers, comedians, motivational speakers, and most important, life coaches, personal trainers, nutritionists, and gut health specialists. To now, I'm bringing it back. I'm so excited about this episode, guys, because, guys, I'm bringing back one guy I consider a flat out brother. When I say that, this guy took a very green kid, very green, very green. I'm pretty sure he'll acknowledge it as well. But for him to take me in, to show me what he knew, to better myself, and most importantly, even as long tenure I had in wrestling, I owe it to him because he helped me elevate everything from match moveset, psychology, outlook of matches, and different styles of wrestling. Guys, I'm talking about the one and only, the anointed one, Logan Stevens. Logan Stevens, independent pro wrestler for so long. A guy, like I said, I consider a brother, is literally one of the most humble, always will help somebody. That is somebody you definitely need in this business. It's very rare for it to happen. And most importantly, just for him to be the guy he was is just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's really crazy to see where everything has came and just most importantly where he has become now. He is now a promoter, a father, a husband, and the most important one, the anointed one. When the countdown goes from 31, we're going to have one amazing chat for a hell of a wrestler. Guys, 30 to 1, we will be joined with Logan Stevens. And ladies and gentlemen, that countdown starts right now. All right, man. I'm joined
Hey
with the
man, how you
one and
doing?
only Logan Stevens. How you doing,
Hey,
brother?
I'm good. I'm good. All that talking you done a while ago, I think I'm done already, right?
Huh?
I said all that introduction and talking a while ago, I think I'm done already, right? I mean, I think that's good enough.
Man, they don't know the list of what's about to happen.
They know enough about me already.
Hey, man. I basically enshrined you in this episode, I guess.
Yeah. How you doing though,
How
bro?
are you? Hey, man, I'm doing well, man.
That's
I'm
good.
doing well. Family's doing well. How about
That's
yours,
good.
man?
Doing good, man. Busy. It's
Yeah.
sports constantly, just like sports, school, work. Started back
How's
over
Big
again.
Logan now, man? I see he's been playing a lot of sports.
Oh man, he let's see, he's straight from varsity football into basketball, from basketball now into baseball. As soon as baseball's done, he's gonna get right back into football again.
Hey, I
You
love it.
name it, he's trying to do it.
Hey, man, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, no, not
Nothing
at
wrong with
all.
that. That man's got a big future, and he's majorly tall.
Yeah.
Hey, man. So, Logan, if nobody knows who you are, man, which I'm pretty sure they know half of it based off that introduction, let them know who
Hold on a
you
second.
are.
I'm sorry I'm outside in the car, bro. I got a 1 year old and a 3 year old that goes crazy in the house. And now it started to start raining while I got the window down, so I had to try and make some adjustments real quick.
Does it sound like I'm speaking in two person?
Not really.
Okay.
So, I didn't quite hear some of what you just said though.
Tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, I'm Northern One Logan Stevens. That's my professional wrestling name, gimmick, whatnot. I've been doing this. This year will be like, oh man, 17, 18 years. Um, if you want to get into the start of my career, I was yeah, yeah. That's what my back sounds like when I walk. Crack, 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 crack. Um, I started, back. I mean, I was 15 years old, no, 16 years old or something like that when I first took my first bump back in like
Uh-huh.
'05, maybe 17. Is 16 to 17 years old. Anyway, you lose track of it all, and been doing it ever since. You know,
Uh,
loving every minute of it. I love professional wrestling, always have, and I always will. That bug bit me at a young age, and still bit by it right now.
hey, I agree with you on that one, man. It's been crazy. Dang, 18 years?
Something like that. Yeah, I think this year will be 18 years now. So yeah,
Hey,
I
my
lose
boy
track of
right
it
there,
honestly.
bro.
Sometimes unless I start thinking about it, I really lose track of it.
Yeah.
But outside of wrestling, husband, father of five, from my oldest son's 15 all the way down to my 1 year old. Yeah, five.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you
And
do have a one here.
yeah, which he's 1.5. So, but yeah, and then like Logan will be 16 this year, and so I'm getting old myself. My birthday's coming up as well. So, matter of fact, I think by the time this airs,
You and me
I'll be another
both.
year older.
You and me both, bro. Matthew will
So,
be 10 next month.
yeah, how's he doing?
Gosh. Good, man. He's home with us right now, so he's enjoying every
That's
bit.
cool. That's
Every
cool.
bit.
I haven't seen the
He
little guy.
actually was just on the Commission Talks episode.
Okay,
He was so excited. Oh my
I haven't
lord.
actually seen Matthew in person. It's been man, probably
He's a
2018. I think last time I seen him.
he's up to here now.
Yeah. Well, I look up to Logan, so I mean,
I was
like,
looking at a recent picture of Logan and I was like, dang.
yeah,
They grow.
yeah, he's at the age where pretty much a young man now, going on to
Yeah.
dates and dances and all that stuff like that. So proud of him, though. Hardworking kid. Very proud of him. He
Hey, luckily it's a boy though, right?
I got
Lucky
two
it's a
girls coming
boy.
up behind him. I got
Yeah,
a
I know.
10-year-old little girl Trinity and a 9-year-old girl Kinsley, and then
Ooh,
Carter will actually be 4 this weekend, and then and Jax is 1.
wow.
He's been
Yeah,
busy.
come. Yeah. Oh man, that's gotta love it, man. That's parent life, bro. That's that parent life. I got, as you know, Annabelle 3.
Yeah.
Um, she was just born. I think my very last match, if I remember. I think I did have Annabelle when me and you actually went in that gauntlet, and
I think so. Yeah,
man, it's crazy how much she's growing, bro. Like
yeah,
literally, I remember me and you talked about it numerous times. Like we would always talk about you explained to me what were the differences of having a girl and a boy, and I
yeah.
was just like I don't see it. But when I had Annabelle, I totally agree everything you said and
Wait a
into the
few more
kitchen
years.
sink. My daughter is very independent in ways now. She knows everything. Sharing is the hardest test right now for her because she is basically the only child for so long here until Matthew gets here. So it's like literally, I'm just like, oh no, Annabelle, just hand him the toy. Like
Yeah,
literally, here's a great example, bro. So they were at Walmart. My mom has to buy them something every time that they're at the store.
yeah. That's
Every
true.
time they're at the store.
That's grandparents.
So they had these rabbits, the little Easter bunny rabbit things. I guess it was off of a show, and they have like
Hmm.
these little colored sweaters. It was a
Hmm.
red and a blue one. So Matthew had to get the red, Annabelle had to get the blue. And I'm sitting there like, what's the point of these rabbits? So both of them grabbed the little carrot part and put the rabbit inside of it,
Hmm.
zip it up, and they go, it's a carrot with a rabbit in it. And
I've seen those. Are you talking about?
I'm like, you
Hey,
got thousands of
listen.
toys at home, and you
Yeah,
worried about a carrot rabbit.
listen. My daughter's got makeup. They got,
Oh, I ain't
like I
ready
said,
for that
every,
stage yet, bro. I ain't ready for
fingernail
that part
polish.
yet.
They got cell phones now, and talking about little boyfriends already.
Oh
So
no.
you're dealing with it at 3. Just wait a few more years. And the
Oh
way
no.
technology is now,
You
I'll
see this now? That's from the 3-year-old
hey,
and the wife.
yeah, I know. So just wait. I say, it
I remember
gets
you acknowledged it the
oh,
first time when I had Gray. You're like, "Dang, bro, you younger than me, and you already got Gray." And I was like,
well, the
"Dang,
thing is,
Logan,
man, it
you
ain't like
just
you
can't let me
other
cover it up either." And I had Just for Men in it, and I was just
other
like, "Logan,
other than
come
other
on."
than the gray, bro. I don't think you've aged since I met you though.
I appreciate that one. Uh,
Seriously,
a lot of
I mean,
moisturizer. Hey, I knock it
so,
now, but hey, that thing
so
saves your life.
do you remember what? I can't even remember how far back it was when we met. Like,
It was Wrestle Bash, my first Wrestle Bash. I didn't wrestle. I remember Chris was teasing it. He was like, "Hey, you're gonna debut, whatever," and I was so excited. And
yeah,
good thing we didn't because that gimmick was not fully done yet. I didn't have the full trunks yet. I had, you remember those parachute pants?
yep,
You remember?
yeah,
And I had my Nikes, and we had to put the kick pads on them.
yeah,
And they were, and you always had to make a joke talk about. So you supporting Puerto Rico?
yep.
But the main thing I remember what stand out from you compared to everybody else, which I was close with more and Alice there,
Yeah,
but I was more close to you because you came over to talk to me. You asked about how I got into this thing, what I liked about it. Like you gave me the 411 about really what wrestling was. And
yeah.
and I think I was always really respected by y'all in that locker
Well,
room as a whole because I felt like I belonged in that locker room because bro, that locker room alone was nice. It was like top like cards stacked up. Like we had
yeah.
some really good
You
performers on that
what
lower.
year was that?
Oh man,
Like 2000
what year did I
and
start it?
because
I
I'm
would
trying to see
say
because like I said, it all kind of blurs together sometimes once I start thinking about it. And I was with CCW. Oh
what
man,
was
I
it?
started out there back in
I
like
started when I was 23, and I'm 20. I'm 30 now.
30, so
So
7 years ago.
yeah,
So 2015.
yeah,
Okay,
2015.
I remember. Yeah, okay. So or would have been the end of 2014
Yeah,
that you
because
actually
it
there
was
because
in
WrestleMania.
yeah,
I'm
you're
because
right.
see I was with CCW originally like first like back in probably '08 I think.
Were you 16 when you first
No,
started?
well not then. Because I started in Georgia. I got my
Right.
original start. If you want to talk about that, I got my original start in Hazelhurst, Georgia. Um, a promotion, and they were actually. I started training. I trained for like 2, maybe 3 months, and then they closed doors on the promotion. They lost their
Mm-hmm.
venue, and the doors just pretty much just closed. And then
Mm-hmm.
I finished the rest of them that year of high school, and then I met Jared and them.
Hmm.
and finished training with him and debuted with him. You know, Jared Michaels is what I'm talking about. Him and back when he ran, it was originally GWA, but they changed it Southern States Championship Wrestling. Him and Chris, they kind of worked
Okay.
together
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of went
Yeah.
back. We would go to his shows. They would come to our Jared shows. And that's kind of got my start like that. And that was so in '06, first '07, somewhere time frame. So it's probably '07 when I
Hmm.
originally debuted with CCW. So that's how far I go
Okay.
back. And I actually remember my debut. I want to say my debut match was in Folston, Georgia, with CCW.
Yeah.
Um, I remember that, and I remember it was a gym in the summer with no AC. It was hot. So,
I do.
but
I was told stories about some. Which one was that at?
Folston, I believe.
Was Folkestone? I remember there
I
was
believe so.
one gym there. Some was it the one with the bats in it?
No, that's the one here in Abbeville, bro.
Oh, that was
That-
Abbeville. Oh
matter
yeah,
of
that
fact,
was.
dude, that's like if I walk out in front of my house, I'm in my backyard right now. If I walk out in front of my house, I can see that gym from my yard.
I love it.
That's
I
Abbeville.
mean,
That's my
I
hometown.
love the Abbeville shows honestly because I mean, you really got to see the true fan base wise. I mean, regardless of the
Yeah,
numbers, whatever. Like that's one thing that I can say we did get spoiled with CCW for a while was like we were drawing major numbers in other areas,
yeah.
but when we went to Abbeville, you didn't get the numbers. But man, like you
You
got
know,
what real fans were. Like you
there
got
was
that
in
real reaction.
the thing about Abbeville is a lot of people is a small town. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't even know what there's way less than 1,000. I mean, if there's 500-600 people here, I'll be shocked. Honestly, it's a small town. So when you draw
I
100
would thought
people
it
of
was
that town,
1,000. I would have
it,
thought at least a
I don't even
thousand.
know if it's 1,000. Honestly, I haven't looked at the census in a while. So we drew at least 10 to 20% of the population though at one point. You know,
Yeah.
and that's actually pretty good. But it just Abbeville, man, it was a little more laid back too.
Hmm.
And the fans that did come, they were a lot of them were old school Southern wrestling fans.
Hmm.
So and it draws what it draws, and then some. You have your like I said, there's one show drew well over 100 people, and there was one show that drew like 40. So I mean, it just that happens in independent wrestling anyway.
I remember that which one was it, bro? When me and Les went at it, and like, bro, we went stiff as can be. Like,
Yeah,
me and Wesley just worked so stiff. Like that, I didn't think of any other style when me and him would work. And I remember we joked about that match. We're like, and everybody was just saying like, why are y'all like laying it in like that? Like, it's not even that many people. I'm like, I mean,
it's
it's a
fun.
match. Like, it's fun.
Yeah,
Like, have fun with it. And I
yeah.
remember so we're gonna have to talk about stories. So, guys, if you don't know, me and Logan have known each other for so long. Like, me and him have actually worked. I think maybe 2 to 3 times. I think most.
I
Was
see.
it three
I know the
times?
one singles match in Abbeville.
Yeah, that was like a
And
last
then
minute pickup too.
yeah, because we both had different
I
matches
heard you
originally
knew
prepared.
about it longer than I did.
Well, I found out that week of, and I think you found that day of. So
Literally
that's how,
when
which
I got there, and I was late.
basically, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I found out like that week of, that I can remember correctly. And then we had, I want to say, was there a tag team match or something like somewhere there, or a multi-person match? Yeah, because I think I was involved in like a multi-person match when you had the alternative title down there.
Yeah, you're right.
And
You're right
then,
about that.
then you come up to Albany that time for me, for
Hmm.
Mr. Jerry.
Yep.
So basically three
Yep.
matches.
Yeah, so we had 3 matches. So this match that I'm gonna talk about in particular, this was our very first time. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all sit here and talk about, hey, y'all do how do y'all do it? Do y'all just go over stuff in the back? We did. We literally went everything on the top of the head and just saw what we could do out of it. And it wasn't the best. I mean, I will not even sit here and say, "Oh yeah, we tore the joint up," but it was what it was. Like it was the first time you ever saw me and you ever in the ring together. We had two
Yeah,
different styles. We were trained 2 different ways, and I mean, I didn't
yeah.
realize that until me and you actually worked because your hip tosses were a little bit different than mine. Your your hip toss looked like a rock bottom at first to me. That one match. Like I remember when you did a hip toss, it looked like you choke slammed me, and it was just like, And you go left throw? I was like, no, it was a hip toss. Like literally, there were some things like there was so many differential things. Like our arm drags were a little different, but it flew well. I really thought it really did go well. Obviously, the opening was very well. We proved that hey, we were both athletic. The crowd was so
Yeah.
into you. I was the pop of that while until your behind came out to that curtain, and then I
Yeah,
became
'cause
the
didn't even
American heel.
didn't even like some of your family said, not, we love you, but I gotta cheer for Logan instead or something like
Yeah, they had
that.
a sign that said it. Like they had a sign that said this. I'm just
Yeah,
like, oh, this is what I get. Like
yeah,
literally, like my mom loved your matches, mine, and Moore's. And obviously
yeah,
she loved the Canine Carnage. She loved their
yeah.
matches completely.
Oh yeah, I miss
Um,
him.
but yeah, yeah, those two are shout out to them two for sure
Yeah,
because those two really were really great to us in
beast.
wrestling and well,
They were
definitely. I
very
miss
good.
them too.
I actually
Them two clone balls.
I ain't taking just a quick little sidebar. So early in my career is the first time that I ever turned heel, and one of the first matches I was with Eric, and it
Really?
was especially early in my career is one of my favorite matches. And we
Okay.
actually wrestled at a show. It was on like a Monday, I believe. Yeah, because we had a show at a school that Saturday, and we came back
Mhm.
on that Monday to do like a in school show or something like that. And
Mhm.
anyway, so I remember it was like one of my favorite shows, and I remember jumping. It was the first times I jumped off the top rope to the outside to do a splash, and it went well. So hey, don't be
I
stupid
wish I
stuff
would have
like
done it off the top and then do the freaking slingshot way. I didn't like that
that.
part.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
just
I'm
like,
more a fan of
man.
coming off the top.
I
I
was
just
so
feel
more into. I told Chris like literally, I would have done that spot easier. Like
yeah,
that one spot, like it's just a hit or miss. Like I'm already blindfolded as it is. Like literally, like I'm gonna be able to look at my feet hitting this rope. Like
yeah.
he had to really break me out. I will give him that. Like he broke me out of my comfort
Well,
zone for sure.
I do remember from like early getting to know you and stuff like that. You seem nervous a lot of times, and
Yeah.
you was of course athletic, and you got the look and stuff like that. I mean, you probably were born with abs, whatever though. Don't have to work hard for them. So anyway, but,
You
but
were worried about
uh,
eating salads, and I'm over eating a burger and stuff.
I know, right? I got like some meat and no carbs and waiting on me to eat after this. But anyway, so I remember, you was athletic and all, but it's almost like once that bell rung, it was like not necessarily stiff, like as in stiff, but you was like stiff, like as a board, and trying to get you to loosen up some, and you did over time. But I could see it over time. But I still remember like one of the first times I think I went down there and trained with y'all some, and still can remember like just being just tense and
Man,
having
he'd
to
make
still
me
get
jump in and
comfortable.
out of the ring. It wasn't like I was on a pad or anything. Like he's telling me, "Hey, bare ground, just jump out of the ring.
Well,
Boom, one,
yeah,
two, three,
I just
go."
mean period. But I'm
Yeah,
just talking
yeah,
about
I know what
period.
you're saying. I
Yeah,
know what you're saying. Like literally, he had me every training session. Everybody's bumping. I'm sitting here jumping in and out of the ring. I'm sitting here literally doing all these crazy things that get me out of this mindset. Like, hey, the worst
yeah,
case scenario, you're gonna fall, and and it helped me in a way. I give him a shout out on that standpoint because it did make my character more creative. Like
yeah,
in a way, it kind of made it to where I stood out than myself because people knew me in general as like, hey, Warren's afraid of heights. He is not
yeah.
doing any of that. And then when you saw American Prodigy jumping out of a ring, you're sitting there looking like, all right, where's Warren? Is he in security? There ain't no way
Yeah.
he's in that mask right now. There is no way. Like, I will say one thing about when the bell rung, man, it was like all my fear or whatever. Like, I did get a little stiff in waist, but it would go away. Like, I
Yeah.
really would be tuned in, ready to go in the match. And, like,
Well, I mean, still to this day, like this past Saturday when the show started and my match is about to go on, I'm about to go out there. And like the way I had my spot set up was this whole segment that led into a match. And I mean, I instantly got like it was more of I still get the butterflies, the nervousness,
mm-hmm.
but it's it's more of like, especially with a good hot crowd, I'm just energized and I'm just like on
Yeah,
a high, like on cloud 48, just ready to just go out there and just go have fun. So I
yeah.
still have that, all these years later. But back to that
You
match in
got to have
Albany.
it.
excuse me, Abbeville, that in that match. So we're talking about that match, right? And I remember talking with you, and actually, you were supposed to have a CCW title match that night. If you don't, that's what was being promoted.
I
But
showed up late and everything. That's why I was wondering
yeah,
what was
good job.
going on. Like,
But something happened. I can't remember what was going on. For some reason, Jamie couldn't make it, and so Chris was like, "Y'all work," and and I'm gonna break kayfabe right now. So I ain't like we ain't breaking it anyway. So I remember
I
talking
think
to
we
him
already
about,
done that at the beginning.
hey, you mind go ahead and putting him over? It's kind of like as you didn't get in your title match, you're not getting the main event, but let's put you over. I was like, yeah, no
Uh-huh.
problem. I mean, good kid, of course. So now there's a specific spot we called in this match, right? That you didn't want to do. Simple
I'm gonna
spot,
show the
right?
video.
Simple spot. So,
One of my
and I
moves
call
too.
it the Matt, and I call it the Matt Hardy because he's the first person I can remember that done it. It's when you run in with a clothesline, you turn into a running bulldog, right? So, and you didn't want to do it, correct?
I knew we were not gonna avoid this one. I knew it
No.
wasn't gonna be avoided.
So essentially, what happened is we get to the spot, and I call it. You run in, give me the clothesline, and I put you in position to give me the bulldog, and I end up basically picking you up and giving myself a bulldog, right? So there's that, right?
My dad,
And
guys,
I
I
ain't
was
even
very
done. So
green.
do what?
I was very green.
Oh, you wasn't that. You done kind of lightened up a little bit. You wasn't that green anymore. You wasn't dark green. You may have been lime green by that point. So, and I'll let you tell about the
He's
spot
not lying.
that
He is not lying about it, man. Like literally, we both did bulldog. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, all right, so what
I
was the
didn't
main
do,
things you want to do?
but I done
And
more
Logan
of
told
the
me. I remember you telling me you're like, hey, that's your move. You can do that.
yeah.
And I was like,
I
nah, I'm
gave
not
you a
gonna do it.
spot.
I'm not gonna do it. And then I think I got so excited when we did the clothesline part. I think when you said Matt Hardy, I was trying to give you another different type of Matt Hardy move. And then when you angled me into the bulldog, I didn't even have your neck
But,
basically hooked. Like you
but,
just hit my butt up and we just go flat.
bro, I mean, you was literally going, no, 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 I don't want to do it. And I just picked you up and
He was
basically
like,
threw you out
screw
and threw
this.
myself with you.
I remember, I think it's on video too. You can hear, screw this. You just pick me up and just boom. But
So,
yeah,
but
that
there's
definitely
another
gave you
spot.
outlook. You definitely had your stuff laying in after that spot for sure.
Yeah. But there's one more. There's a spot I want you to talk about. The spot that scared you the most.
You talking about when we worked outside the ring?
Yes.
So we worked outside the ring, guys. You're gonna see this video obviously after the recording. So we were working the spot outside the ring, and I remember Logan was getting excited. Like fans were screaming, "Hey, use the chair, use the chair!" And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Huh?" We're sitting there punching each other back and forth, and all of a sudden he gives me a knee, puts me in this chair, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, "What's about to happen here?" We didn't know. All I hear is Logan whisper to me and goes, "I love you, bro." Literally lines back up. So I'm sitting, and this is actually perfect. The chair itself is like this. I'm sitting there like this, sewed up like so. I'm thinking, all right, I'm just gonna fling back. All right, wait for it. Logan's smacking his knee. The fans are getting so excited, like everybody's energized. They're like, "Oh, he's about to kick his head off!" Literally, I remember my mom was telling me, she's like, "I was terrified for you." Literally, like I'm sitting there like this, sold. I'm sitting there like, what is about to happen? I'm closing my eyes, just let it happen. I just see Logan run straight at me. I didn't know if I need to fling back or what. I almost flung back in the chair, but then Logan just stops, looks at the crowd, smack right to my chest. I was so relieved. My whole heart was popping out.
So yeah. So what I did was I remember telling you like, hey, I love you, and
you
me,
were in
but I
the
love you.
crowd.
Yeah, and I just took off running and I stopped and just looked at you and just chopped you real hard.
I sold that sucker
But
like you kicked me.
I don't. Here's one thing I can't remember if you remember this part or whatever. When you were punching me, right? You kept cupping
Oh,
my ear.
in the ear? Yeah.
Yep. You kept cupping my ear, and by like the third one, I was like, okay. And that's when I started laying the forearm.
You elbowed me in that one. I
I gave you
remember that.
elbow.
You didn't give me the forearm. You hit me straight elbow. I was
I gave
like,
you that elbow to like the collarbone. Yep. So, but yeah, man, I remember that was fun, and actually, the finish was
oh no, don't
Wasn't you
go,
can't you
don't
didn't you? It was
go.
simply just a pull up under and roll over, and somehow.
You tried to do a pedigree. I remember now.
Well, yeah. Because I have a spot I do every now and then. It's a modified pedigree, but anyway, so you pull my legs out from under me, and you got to flip over, but somehow you go as you're flipping, you flip over, but go straight down at the same time. So I essentially get low blowed, but the 3 count still happens.
It still happened. 1, 2, 3. Yours truly won, and I got booed out of the building. The craziest thing is the fans. The craziest thing is the fans really did like the match. Which,
Yeah.
regardless of all, like I tell people, like the stories that people could say when they have in their matches, like me and you could talk about this match numerous times. I remember it was played at Lake City, and we were looking at it, and you were just like pointing at the spots that you knew I should have done and that we didn't do. But the crowd loved it. They were just pissed that I won and you lost because they wanted to see you as the alternative champion that night. They didn't want me to defend that title.
We're both, it's face because I mean, Abbeville is technically my hometown, or is my hometown. That's where I live.
It was the first baby on baby for a while, honestly.
Yeah. So, but I just worked, even though I worked the more the aggressive style because that was, how I work anyway. But yeah, I just remember it being fun, and it's still a story we could talk about today anyway. So
it's definitely a laugh. Like when you talk about that chair spot, bro, I still just like. It just a picture pops in my eye. I'm just sitting there watching you smack your knee, and I'm just like, this dude is about to kick my head off. Literally, look back. I don't know if I need to fling back to give my advantage, or he just going straight head first into there. But when you said I love you, bro, I heard that clear as day. I was like, what's going on here? That's still one of my most monumental matches. Like, and not just the overall, but just those moments, man. That's what I tell people when they talk about favorite matches. I talk about the stuff that happened inside the match itself, like the alternative title, the gauntlet match, which I'm glad they finally decided to do a gauntlet because I got tired of the title on the pole matches, which was one reason why I departed from there.
Yeah.
And I get backlash still from to this day. But that's one thing I was very proud of was the match I did with you because they always tried to say, oh, you didn't defend your title. I defended against Logan and Abbeville. Like, literally, I had choices. I had so many options. And me and you in a way, like, you could have been my booker in ways because you were giving me so many ideas. Me and you were talking. Since that match, me and you got really closer. Like, we were close, but that match really made it to where we built that brotherhood. Like, we were just like, we would talk once a week, stuff like that. Like, not even just talk about wrestling. We would talk about family, stuff like that. And, like, that's how me and you really drew close. And that's what I tell people about wrestling. Like, it's really hard to find that brother. And I can honestly call you one because, bro, even when I left CCW and you knew I was going through a lot of problems, like when my grandfather passed and stuff like that, you were always there for me. Like, I did have problems. I did have injuries in ways, but we all just sit here and just like, hey, put some sand on it and it's okay. Well, you did that for 6 years. You can't rub the sand no more. Your body is really starting to break down. And for you to make the long tenure that you've had, major props to you on this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I gonna say injuries. I just got, things have happened. yeah. I mean, my lower back bothers me. My right shoulder bothers me. I've actually popped my jaw out of place. I've broke this wrist. Stuff happens. I've had sprained ankles so many more times I can't even count. Just things just happen. But at the end of the day, I still get up, still go to the gym, still work out. It may affect my
I
workout
was his
sometimes.
incentive to actually really try to change his look too, guys. Like when he was in the ring with me, he always would sit there and be like, "Dang,
Hey, hey,
man,
hey,
it's not
hey!
even
Hey,
fair."
that one night in Abbeville, if at least that one night, and then the last match we had together, you may have had abs, but I had the better looking body. I'll just say that. I may have had the full blown like 22 pack like
I
you had.
remember every time we meet and see each other, you would like try to get like you would let me know, "Hey, I did arms today," and just let I go like this and just get them arms showing a little bit in that shirt. I was like, "Logan, that a little tight," and you would like, "Man, I can out
Hey,
curl you today." Like
it's a medium. It wasn't it's a medium.
he said, "It's a medium."
That counts.
I remember we do those
hey,
little autograph
hey,
signs, bro.
look,
You would have them shorts like sitting there riding up the arms, like you gotta get that tattoo show.
I gotta work the gimmick, bro. Gotta work the
You
gimmick.
got to, bro. Hey, I loved it, man. It
Hey,
was fun.
so
Go
your
ahead.
last match, that was in Albany at the State Theater, and that was the night you was part of that gauntlet. That was like 5 or 6 of us, where
Hmm.
Mr. Jerry, I love Mr. Jerry to death. He passed away last year. It's getting
Shout
close
out
to
to
a year
him.
of his passing. But that was the year he put the junior heavyweight Southern Junior Heavyweight Championship on me, or the day.
Hmm.
And I mean, I appreciate you coming up and doing that too. Because it was a long ride for you. Like you said, you're going through a lot. You had your life going on, your injuries going on,
I
things
owed
like
it
that.
to
Still
you.
come up.
I'll tell
And
you flat out, man. I owed it to you because you literally, I like, bro. I've had guys on the podcast like say, man, they were real close with people that they wrestle, and then literally when they stop wrestling, that connection's gone. Me and
yeah,
you, we don't talk every day like we used to because we got life, man. But we still
yeah,
keep in connect. And bro, you've always supported everything I've done. Everything I've done. I remember when I first got that IWE offer, and you're like, hey, how much should I get paid? I went to you first thing. I was like, what do you
yeah,
think? Like, and I even tried to get you to go out there with me and stuff. And I hope that they finally get a contact with you because, bro,
yeah,
I really got to start enjoying wrestling. Like, I'm not gonna shoot it. I love my time in CCW. Like
yeah.
the reason why I stayed there so long as I did because I was finally winning. Like as a character driven standpoint, I was built up as one of their main guys. Like I was
Hmm.
probably their platform for a while. Even though you got that main eventer one, whatever. Like me and Kakino were really neck and neck to being that
Yeah,
next star at that championship ring,
yeah,
which I knew for a fact I wasn't gonna be the guy because it was just I'm that mass character. I got the alternative title as many times as I was. I knew my place that wasn't going to get any higher. And that's
yeah,
one reason why I did my departure because I was like, bro, one, I'm tired of the title on the pole matches. Two, I told you I got a neck problem, and the finish was, hey, we're going to do a pile driver, not one, but 5 times, which I'm not discrediting Jamie.
yeah.
I love that finish. That's one reason why
You
my
know,
time in CCW is done because,
I,
first of all, you
I
can't pop
love,
back up after five. Five
yeah,
pile drivers, that's it. That's it. Like
yeah,
I even told Jamie, hey, take my mask off that night. Chris was like, absolutely not. I was like,
yeah,
this is it for me. And he kept telling everybody, oh no, you're gonna come back, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I'm done. Like if
yeah,
I do come back, this is it. Like I sat there and told him right to his face. I told him, I said, I'm done, bro. I appreciate this, but I'm done. If I do come back, it's not gonna be here because I want to test this out. I want to go
yeah.
somewhere else. And I got that chance
Well,
when I went to
you know,
IWE, bro. Like I
yeah,
talent, everybody. Like it was fun. And then when I got to
yeah,
work with guys like you and stuff like that, man, I just realized like, bro, there's so much I can learn now. Like people use the reference, bro. I got the cuffs off.
yeah. I
And
understand.
that's the funnest time, bro. Like
Yeah.
I got to
Well,
experience promoters going to shows that are not miserable. I got to see promoters enjoy their stuff. Like, hey man, welcome to the show, stuff like that. I mean, I give Chris a lot of dues. I mean, he's done a lot. Like he did a lot for us for the
yeah.
time that we've been there. Regardless what we want to say on all the other stuff, he done his things for us. He did great things for us. Gave us a character to live by for so long. And
Well,
you actually revamped it, not to just the Jesus freak anymore. Now you are the anointed one.
yeah.
And one
Well,
match that
I'm
I
in
hold true to me is the junior heavyweight because that was your time. that was
I
your time
appreciate
to
it.
actually stand out. And I could tell
I
like
appreciate it.
that one means a lot to you out of most matches.
My time in down in CCW, I uh I I uh I loved it. I truly did. I learned a lot. I really did. I learned behind the scenes. I learned some how to run a show type. You but I'm like this. There's I've learned a lot from everybody I've ever worked with too. I did learn some. Now I'll tell you this: some good promoting tactics, I guess you will. I did learn a lot of that from down there from Chris and all. And Chris, I will give him props. He started something in like 91, I think, something like
Yeah.
that, 92, and it's 2022 and he's still going. So, give him props for that. And on
Hmm.
to the fun that we had, the fun that you get when you go to other places. I haven't been a lot like I'm not gonna say I've been all over the world, all over everywhere. I've been a lot of the Southeast. I've wrestled for a lot of different companies, a lot of different people, and I've met some of every type of person out there. And it makes me love the wrestling business even more because you
Hmm.
can go into a locker room and, like I said, there's literally going to be some type of every kind of person in the locker room. You name it, they'll be there. And I've
Hmm.
met some of the best people that I know in the wrestling business. Met some of the worst people I know in the wrestling business as well.
We've
But
all done
seriously,
that
man,
one.
and like when you talk about the brotherhood part, there's a few that like you say, you meet a few along the way, and there's a few that'll stick with you as like a brother, as they say, the brotherhood.
Hmm.
Everybody's favorite word in wrestling is "Hey, bro." That bro word is thrown out a lot. There's a few out there that like you
I
say
used
you
to get a
consider a
lot of
brother,
heat for that. I used to get a lot
and
of
I
heat
can,
because I didn't acknowledge people as bro. Like I used
yeah,
to
I
get a
mean,
lot of heat for that.
well, I say it in my everyday life, so I say bro and bro a lot in my everyday life. So I mean, that's just me, but but I see my son looking at me out the window right over there. But on to that night in Albany, man, you come down and did me a favor. You 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 were the first one in with me when in the gauntlet, and we had our little spots, and we did our thing and had fun with it, and I appreciate it still to this day, dude. I really do. And
And you
like you
wore
said,
yourself
man,
out before even the whole gauntlet started.
yeah, because I can't remember how long the whole entire match was, but number one and two in it, and of course, Mr. J was putting me over, so I went all the way to the end, and that was one of the times that was fun for me because I got to go in there and I had to remember from match one all the way to the end. I had to remember every single every spot I connected, and which I mean, honestly, I mean I had the key parts in every spot, and we just kind of just put everything else together.
I remember
But
you
that was a fun
wanted me
night.
and you to
Yeah,
go 8 minutes long. I remember you wanted us to go a little bit longer than what we did, but when it was that gauntlet, I was like, maybe if I was not number one, it would have made
and
sense. But there was no
that
way
night,
like you were gonna be able to do all that, and me and you still have a distance
well, I mean,
match.
dude, that night I could have it's one of those nights where I felt like I could have wrestled for an hour,
Yeah.
and it's just one of those nights. So I was excited. My adrenaline was going. It was an extremely fun night. I
Hmm.
got to work not only work with you but work with some new talent that came in, and then also seeing like that talent blossom from where they were then to where they are
Yeah.
now. Such as like Alex Kane, we talked about him before we went live or started recording. I mean that boy. I mean that
Shout out to
dude.
them.
Like, seriously, bro, he's tearing it up. Proud for the dude. Really am. And I'm proud for all the people that I've come in contact with over the years, no matter where they're at in their life, and where they're at in their career. Because
Yeah.
I've been able to work with some great people, some great talent, and I've been very blessed.
Yeah.
Overall, I really have. I'm very grateful for you know. At the end of the day, our goal is, of course, in even when someone says it's not, your goal is to work for the biggest company, and your goal is to have a contract do it for a living. May haven't reached that part. May never reach it, but I'm still happy and satisfied with my career.
Yeah.
And so and to kind of move on now still wrestling, of course, wrestle for a lot of promotions, a lot of promoters, a lot of bookers. But I started up my own company, And we just had a show this past Saturday. Um, appreciate it. Um, which
I would definitely work for
it
you any day of the week.
was it's exclusive pro wrestling. You can find us on Facebook, of course. Also, there's Wrestlevival, which is also my ministry show that we do with churches, and of course I combine the two. But we had a show in December that was it was a good show in the ring, but as far as crowd and because of everything, and I'm not gonna say to make excuses, but there's a lot going on in Albany that night. Um, so the crowd wasn't that well. We this past show, I mean, we probably slightly more than doubled the crowd, and they were a loud crowd, a very hot crowd. It was
Hmm.
very fun. One of the loudest, I mean, from start to finish, like is one of the loudest crowds I've ever been in front of. And it
Yeah.
really was. I mean, they were in every single thing going on in the ring. They loved the good guys. They hated the bad guys. They really was. And then I brought Loaded in to come in. He wrote the main event and gave a message at the end. And things like that. And all that went very well. And Lodi is one of the nicest, most humble names out there in this business. You
Hmm.
know, I don't know if you watched Lodi because you're a little younger than me. But I mean, I remember watching Lodi back when I was like 9 and 10 years old on WCW Nitro. So that was a cool honor to share a ring with
Still
him
got a
too.
good look too for him
He
for
does.
his age too.
He's a really, really good shape, really good guy though. And like I said, all in all, it was that night was like I was still like riding my adrenaline high the next day. Like I really was. Matter of fact, I didn't get much sleep that night. Woke up, got up the next day, and was still like it just going and going and going. And the effects of the night of all the work and the match and everything didn't hit me till Monday. So like that's
Yeah.
how long the adrenaline high still happened. But it really was, and I'm trying to build from there. We're coming
Yeah.
back June 4th in Albany, and doing a joint show with US 19 Dragway, which is a drag race strip in town. There's some new owners, very nice, sweet people. Um, we're coming in there. We're gonna have it's all outside. They got a stage, entertainment session and stuff like that, but everything's gonna be outside. Got a big night planned. Gonna be debuting a new match concept that's in the to honor Mr. Jerry's memory. One thing about Mr. Jerry, he loved what he called the hosses. He loved the big
Yep.
guys. In his career, at one time, he was around the 300-pound mark. So we're
Hmm.
gonna have a match concept that's gonna honor his memory. Also bringing in Ring of Honor star Caprice Coleman that night. He'll be
Okay.
wrestling, and also probably it will be giving a message that night as well. So, I mean, we got a big night planned, and got a
Man,
lot.
I love it.
Hopefully, more to be. And I'm dropping every few days, dropping some more details, and hoping for a really, 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 really good, entertaining night and a big crowd. So,
Dang, I like that, man. I like how you mix with ministry and wrestling. Like
yeah,
honestly, bro, like I love how that's a very good combination. And I always told you, like literally, you were built to be a promoter. You didn't like me saying that because you wanted to be the wrestler. And
yeah, I
as
still
long
want to
as
be
you've
the
been
wrestler.
putting your heart and soul into everything, and I always told you, like, bro, if
Well,
you ever became a promoter, you let me know. I would work for you any day. Because,
well,
bro, you're just more trustworthy than anyone I know.
I
Like,
appreciate
literally,
that,
you
and
give
and
everything you have.
being the
Everything you
promoter
have.
being the booker, and all stuff like that, that's a stressful part. It really is, especially when
I
you
can
got
only
money on the
imagine.
line,
Yeah, I
huh?
can only imagine with that.
Yeah, especially like I said, when you got money on the line and things like that too. But I remember being a kid, right, and collecting action figures, and all the way back as young as I can remember. And I would have my wrestling ring set up, and I'd have my own entrance set made up, all that stuff
Hmm.
like that. And I would sit there with my wrestlers, of course, play with my wrestling action figures. Heck, I'll still do that today with my son. I don't care. I'll I'll uh,
Hey, I
I'll
got
have
I
my
got
action
9 year
figures.
old man. He does it all the time.
I would take my action figures and I would set up shows. I'd have my own. I'd actually would have my own promotion name, whatever it would be. I don't remember back what I called it back then. I had belts and I'd have my champions. I'd book my matches. I'd do my everything. So hold on a second. Got to get my light back on. So I would. So back then, I look on that back then. I'm like, wow. So I really was, promoting and doing shows in my head back then and didn't even realize it. So
Yeah.
I love it. It is stressful. It can be very stressful, and especially when you got a show booked and things happen, in everyday life, and sometimes certain people can't make it. Sometimes something happens with a venue. Like I've had the venue and Albany be double booked, and that becomes very stressful when you got to have your
The
show
same
and get in
venue?
and out. Do what?
The same venue?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
When we had the Jerry Stevens Memorial Show back right after he passed away, and it was actually
Uh-huh.
the last show me and Mr. Jerry was booking together.
Right.
Um, on the way to that show, and I done paid for everything. I done had the show booked. I had all the stuff going on. The venue was double booked, and we basically had to kind of restructure the time, be done by a certain
Mm-hmm.
time, and get out of there. And which there was a concert coming in right behind us. And I talked to that
Oh
concert
wow.
promoter, and we worked well together. But it was a stressful night, and
Yeah.
I it's stressful, but at the same time I love it, and it's
Yeah.
probably kind of crazy, but I do.
That
And
new
my only
curtain
goal is
moment,
now is
man. It's that pushing away to make you better. It's
yeah,
now it's like, hey, new challenges, and you're
yeah,
realizing, hey, there's stuff outside of just being in the ring
yep,
standpoint, like putting it together. And I mean, it's like a new high. Like it's like
yeah. When you see
something
when
new.
you have something planned in your head, and yes, when you have a wrestling match, you have this idea of what's going to happen in the ring. But when you have a full show planned, you see it come together, for the good or the bad, either way.
Yeah.
In the end, it's still rewarding. It is. And when you talk about the ministry stuff, I'm also involved with Hope Championship Wrestling, Wrestle Church. Look them up on Facebook, or Unashamed Events. You can find them. They got a big event this weekend. Um, that I'm also involved in them, and we just done about 3 weeks ago. We done a show with them at a church, and church in the middle of nowhere, and over probably
Really.
200 people came, and I think there was around 9 souls, dedicated a lot to Christ and things like that during the message. So I mean, there's some good things happening out there in the wrestling business as well, and it's not always what the negativity a lot of people like to
Yeah.
put on it. There's
Yeah.
positive to it. And I
Oh,
always tell people too, majority of us in the wrestling business, we do this because we love it. We've loved it our whole entire life, and it's something positive in our life. And it's got a
yep.
lot of us through a lot of bad things and a lot of negativity that's happened in our life. So,
Yep.
and I say all that to say, like, there is positivity in wrestling, and when people just give it a chance, you give it an opportunity, just to you allow yourself to fall in love with it. You can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I just don't like the negativity a lot of people put into wrestling, but like I said, there's some
Yeah.
positive stuff out there.
I love how you said that, man, because like literally not a day goes by. Do I think about strapping it up? Do I think about putting the mask on? Like honestly, in my mind, like I'm at the point now. It's just like I don't even know if I need the mask anymore. I don't know if I
You
really even would need to
no,
wear
because
it. But
now you're Marlowe. You're buzzing with Marlowe. Everybody knows Warren now. Yeah, we know who the
see,
prodigy
that was
is.
the thing. Like when I did the Prodigy thing, because I really legit thought I was done. Like I thought
Yeah,
There's no way this being caught back up.
yeah,
And now it's like, bro, like my health, everything. Like I look better than I feel like I did when I was wrestling.
yeah.
Like neck, everything. Like it's crazy. Like people message me and all the time, like, "Hey, you think about coming back? You think about doing this?" And I mean, yeah, I made a mistake going back to Lake City and doing that one, but I was like, it was a purpose to it. Like it
Yeah,
was the first time fans were back, taking opportunity. Solo and all them messaged me. They were messaging me a whole freaking week
yeah.
nonstop. Hey, come back, come back, come back. It's different. Come back, come back,
Well,
come back. And I'm just like, you know what? I'll do
here's
it
the
for
thing,
Solo.
dude. Like, if you want to be in the business, I'll tell anybody there's a place for you in it. And
It is. It is.
my
It's
thing
just
is, there's a lot of people to me that don't take it serious, and
yes.
those people will be weeded out over time. But if you take the business serious and you love the business, you love being a professional wrestler, and also there's a point too of taking it serious to the point where, hey, don't be too crazy, don't be
Yeah.
dramatic, don't cause drama, I should say, but it
I
happens.
remember you used to say, "Hey, bro, you gotta lay it down. You stiff."
But anyway, yeah, I'm just saying, there's a place for everybody, and dude, if you're itching, you need to, scratch that itch. I suggest do it, bro. I mean, find you a place
I
somewhere,
need to do one more.
find you a place somewhere, and It doesn't matter, dude. Like, I mean, I don't wrestle as much as I used to. Um, like this past weekend was my only maybe my fourth match this year, fourth
You know a
maybe
Ricky
fifth.
Rush?
Huh?
You know a Ricky Rush?
Not off the top of my head.
He has a wrestling promotion in Palaco, the autism regarding
Okay.
autism,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and I know one of them guys is poking at me right now, and he's trying to
Yeah.
get me to get back in, but we'll see where that goes. Logan, I do always want to finish it up on this, bro. Like, what does the future hold for you? And I need to know what do you think is the positives of what you see in wrestling now compared to what it used to be for us?
Whew. Well, it's kind of hard. I mean, if you ask me what the future holds for me, um, right now, I'll say this: I'm trying to not only I get a company up and started, but grow a company. I don't want it to just be another run of the mill wrestling show. I don't want to just run shows for the sake of running shows. Um, I want it to be, like I say, a company. And the positive that I see in wrestling is, like this past weekend, there was faces that had never been to a wrestling show, and they came looking for a way to be entertained, and they left entertained. They left smiling. They were laughing. I got a post on my Logan Stevens Facebook page that I posted, and it's talking about how I was behind the curtain, hearing the basically just all the different emotions coming from the crowd, and that right there just put a smile on my face and smile on my heart, and made me feel good about what I'm doing, and not only about the wrestling business, because for me, I don't, not to share too much, more, because I know we're about an hour in this, but for me, wrestling for me was a outlet to escape a lot of times my reality, and that's what wrestling is, and when people don't look on it in a negative light and they give it an opportunity, just give it a chance. They can see the love in it, the performance in it, of course, the just like I
Mm-hmm.
said, the positivity that's actually in it. And at the end of the night, of the show the other night, we gave had the whole entire show, everything built up to the message, gave the message, and this gentleman come up to me and like hugged me and said this was amazing. You know, stuff like that I love, and that's what I want to see more of. And and at the same time, wrestling, and I have a family. I have my wife and 5 children. We're doing really good. Our family's doing really good.
Shout
We
out to them.
recently, yeah, appreciate it. Love you, honey. You probably won't listen to this though, but we just recently, and I'm bragging on God, not bragging on myself. We just recently purchased a new home with some land and a pond and stuff like that, and I want to continue to see my family grow. Not necessarily no more children, Lord Jesus, no more children, but the good things in my life,
You and me both, bro.
and,
You and me both. My wife is on that itch right now, and I'm just like, no, no,
no,
no.
five's
Annabelle's
enough.
enough for me, man. Annabelle's
Yeah,
enough for me. Oh my lord,
but
that girl keeps
I
me on my
and
feet.
And bro, I just want to tell you, man. I remember when you started this platform that you're doing, this podcast and all, man, and telling you I'm proud for you. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I've seen it grow, and I'm
It's had
really am
its
proud of
licks,
you,
that's
dude.
for sure.
I
It's
really
had
am
its
proud of you, dude.
moments. Yeah.
I know that you have your ups and downs with it and your stuff like that. I'm really proud for you, bro, and I hope it gets even bigger. And as when you talk off air, and see if there's anything we could do to help each other out, you know,
Absolutely, bro.
find our platforms together, something like
Absolutely, man. Maybe one day Mr. Red, White, and Blue will be working for you soon.
that. Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely.
We might need a fourth. You never know. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So
Loser has to have a baby. Oh,
no. Hey, well,
that's a
hey, I'm
draw.
the book. Hey, I'm the booker. I put myself over.
Love it, man.
So
Logan, this has been an absolute blast, man. I
yeah,
love
man.
you. I hope
I
you're
love you too.
doing. I'm glad, so glad you're doing so well, man. I'm so glad you're the wrestling promotion itself. You've been talking about doing that for a long time, and I love
Yeah.
how when you sat here and you were literally no kayfabe when you're saying that you wanted to escape being
Yeah.
Logan Stevens, and that's one thing me and you got when we wrestled that first match, bro. Like we legit started knowing who we were,
Yeah.
who each other was, and we were just
Yeah.
more than just American Prodigy. Which you were the first one to give me that nickname, AP, and that stuck to the whole locker room and
Yeah.
everybody else. Like AP was like, who's American Prodigy? No, that's AP, man. That's AP.
Yeah.
Like, watch it. Like, we discovered so much. Like, I remember I
Yeah.
told you about my grandfather passing. I remember I telling you
Yeah.
about my issues with my son.
Yeah.
Um, you telling me about your issues. We're not going to air it, whatever. But
Yeah.
it happens, and
Basically
like that's
sharing
what I
life with
say.
each other.
Yeah,
I
like
said basically
literally,
sharing life with each other. Yeah. Because
and
sometimes,
still keep in contact because like
yeah.
literally, I mean, I do get the messages now because we got a platform. But when I first
Yeah.
said this idea, like, hey, I'm gonna do a podcast, you out of like five of all my wrestling friends were like, do it, bro.
Yeah.
You
Do it.
have knowledge to do it. And I
Yeah.
praise you on every episode I've said because you're actually one of the reasons why I continued this to go because you're like, bro,
Thank you.
you left it at such a young time, 6 years, but you have good knowledge to it.
Yeah.
Regardless of where you stood, you have a good visual of
Yeah.
wrestling. And
Yeah.
it's crazy
I
how
just,
where it's grew now.
I just want to, I know we're getting close to the end of this. Just want to say, bro, like, again, I love you. I hope the best for you. I pray the best for you. I pray the best for your family. I pray that this platform gets even bigger for you,
Yeah.
and the most success you can. I mean, seriously, like I really do. Like I hope most success you can. If you ever get the opportunity to get back in the ring, you're ever open to the opportunity to get back in the ring, you know, do it, bro. If not, hey, it's cool because not
I
many
have a
of us.
hearing aid for I'll have a hearing aid for you next time. Hold on.
Well, 'cause,
We'll get you one of those big old hat, the little wrestling
whatever, dude.
hat, so we're set up.
But I say, but at the same time, there's so many of us that we don't know if and when we'll walk away from actually being in the ring. And you did do it, and you have done it, and you have found a way to still be involved in the business, but do something else at the same time without having to take the bumps. So I'm proud of you for that, bro.
I do miss the bumps. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you say you do. You say you do until you can't get up one morning.
Oh man, like I said, I did it a month ago, and like I felt it the next day. 2 hours
Yeah,
straight, I was good. I was bumping all
yeah,
over the ring. I was good, and it was a stiff ring. Like it was like one of those boxing rings. Shout out to
yeah.
Mr. Larry, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was that ring,
yeah,
and
I'm talking about.
whew,
I haven't worked in it, but
I
I've
felt
seen.
every bit of it that next day.
I bet. Especially when it's your first time back and forever.
And he
Yeah.
was like, "Man, you need to definitely continue this. Like, you
Yeah.
should not quit. You should not quit. You were
Yeah.
still that guy." And I was like, the next day, I was like, "Oh, that was a bad idea."
Yeah.
But look, I appreciate doing this, man. This has been an absolute blast. Great, great, just open chat, guys.
Yeah, man.
You have it, man. Check this man out. Check out his wrestling promotions. Check out all the success that this man has done. This man has
Thank you.
eat, sleep, and lived. When I say that again, man, he's lived this man. He is
Yep.
literally what true art of what we call a Logan has been doing it for at a very top, at a high level. I
Appreciate it.
mean, we may not got the WWE events and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but bro, we got our moments, and that's all
We
that
got them.
matters.
Yeah, man. We do. Appreciate it.
That's
If you hey, check out Exclusive Pro Wrestling on Facebook. Also
the
WrestleVival, like I said,
links
that's
will
the
be
ministry,
below, guys.
and also Logan Stevens on Facebook as well. And
And guys, we're
one,
gonna put that match that we talk about, like literally.
I'm ready. I
I
haven't
feel
seen it. I
nervous.
haven't seen it in a couple years, so I'm ready to watch it. So
Oh man. Oh, we gotta definitely get that one going. But
yeah,
guys,
man.
this has been an absolute pleasure. This has been
Thank you.
episode 93. We are 7 away from the big 100,
Good
and
job.
we're gonna do it big. We're gonna do it big, guys. Season 3. We're gonna end it off on the episode of 100. This has been a great, great one, guys. If you haven't, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all our platforms, including the links below. You see it: Reason, Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and most importantly, Buzzsprout and Podbean. Those are the main ones, and there's so many more. I can't name them all. That's why they're scrolling right across there. But also, guys, Video-wise, if you like it, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live on the Real Buzzin' with Marlo Facebook page or the Buzzin' with Marlo Facebook group page. Check out every great content that we have. Check out this great wrestler right here. I would literally enshrine him into one of the Georgia Hall of Fames because in my eyes, he was one of those guys like, hey, we say Dean Malenko or something like that. I call that for him because this dude did a lot for me. So, yes, regardless of my neck problem and everything, you know what? I'm going to do the favor for him. And yes, it was not the best match because I was very nervous and I was scared as crap with all this mess. And I was just like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to do it. And what it was, I did the favor, and I definitely am not regretting it one bit because we learned what Logan Stevens really was about, and he could be that guy, and he defended that title for over 8 months, ladies and gentlemen, 8 months, town to town,
Actually,
Alabama.
It was 11 months.
11 months. He always got to be right. We couldn't put it over.
Hey, and I could be wrong. It might be 10. I don't know.
Now he's adding numbers, guys. Don't trust anything this man says.
Yeah.
Don't trust anything he says. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Logan, this has been an absolute pleasure, guys. This is the episode of Buzzin' with Marlo, and we will see you down the road. Later.